All right, everybody, welcome in. I'm WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy, and we are live here in the studio as we are monitoring a pretty good little snow squall that is moving through the area here tonight. And we're going to be going out to meteorologist Jacob Dickey, who's actually out in the field in our storm tracker. So we're going to switch over to his camera view now and talk to Jacob and see what he is seeing out there
right now.
Tonight.
And we are out in the storm tracker. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. As we take a look at things, wanted to say hi to y'all. Check in real quick as the snow squall has just hit Champaign-Urbana. A bit of a heavier burst here from Champaign-Urbana up north to Fisher and coming into Gibson City. So I think we're going to hit Interstate 57 to the north here. You can see how visibilities are reduced quite a bit. So you'll get to ride along here as we're checking things out as far as what it looks like moving forth. So just getting settled in here. We'll be live from the field coming up at, let's see, 5:15, 6:15, and 6:45. Unfortunately, while I'm driving, I don't have a way to look at your comments. But so you have some questions. I know Amelia and Kevin are in the studio watching things now. They may be able to answer some of those in the comments, but we're just moving out of downtown Champaign, heading to the north again. Visibility, I would estimate, is down to a quarter of a mile here in town. And I'm very particularly interested in what those interstates look like as this heavy snow squall has moved on in. The good news is ground temperatures are mainly above freezing, but with the rate of accumulation here, you can see how it's already sticking to my windows. The high rate of accumulation is very much interesting here as far as it goes. So we've got Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy and meteorologist, we've got Amelia Henderson in the studio as well. Both of them are there. We're going to send it back to them real quick, and they're going to talk more about this snow band. They've sent me out. Hope you guys are enjoying the warm studio as we're out here watching this heavy snow band in Champaign-Urbana.
Thanks a lot, Jacob. Yeah, we are watching this heavy snow band come across here right now, and boy, it is really coming down here in the Champaign area. So what I want to do is actually show you guys what it looks like on the radar. So I'm going to switch on over here and fire up our radar so you can see this area of blue. Okay, that right there is a very nice heavy burst of snow that we've got. And so essentially this thing can put down some good snowfall amounts. But notice how we zoom out and notice the breaks, the large areas where there's not as much going on. You can see, a huge spot here that we just literally don't have anything. So it really kind of is depending upon kind of where you're at, but nothing here. Then you go and then, hey, look over here into Piatt County. You're getting it pretty good. And over there into Macon County there. So it just kind of varies depending upon where you are located. And that snow is continuing to really pile up in some areas here. So we're continuing to monitor things, and we're going to be keeping you up to date with what to expect with all of this. And of course, Jacob, that's out in the storm tracker there, and we'll fire him back up and see what he is seeing out there right now.
All right, looks like we're back here in the storm tracker, and we're now just sitting at Neal and Bradley, getting ready to jump on Interstate 74. We'll probably take a quick drive out to the east and watch things and keep an eye on things here. Again, the main concern, yes, there could be some slick spots, but the main concern is those reduced visibilities. When you hit the interstate and you're going at interstate speeds, the concern is that if something happens in front of you, your viewing distance, your stopping time is extended. And so you may not get the full view of what's going on. So we'll watch it here and keep an eye on things. Looks like here in North Neal, some sort of incident going on. A number of police units and firefighters also here. It looks like a a vehicle accident, rear end collision there, as far as it goes, right here on Neal, north of Bradley, just before the Circle K there on the side where they got the right lane closed. So in the studio, you might pass that along as far as it goes. So we're going to keep trekking along here and check things out as far as the road conditions go. They're slushy. The snowfall rates are heavy enough to where we're able to overcome the warm surface temperatures just a bit. We're going to go east on 74 first as far as it is.
Right now.
And to take a little drive down here. So the snowband's fairly narrow. It's maybe about 10, 15 miles wide. Kevin was talking about that. It's moving to the north and northeast. There's another one behind it. You'll get a quick burst of the snow. And, you know, there's spots that are seeing next to nothing there. So you can see on the interstate here how the road conditions are a bit slick out there. There's a few slick spots, I would imagine. But again, the bigger concern at this point is going to be those reduced visibilities. Make sure if you're following, here we go, you can see how slush covered the bridge is already. A lot of slush on there. If you come across a spot that's slick, the goal is not to use your brakes. It's to coast through it, hold your wheel steady. That's the way you want to drive through slick spots, especially on bridges and on overpasses. So we're going to move to the east here. And we've got Jerry saying there's not much in Ogden. Not all that surprised by it. But you can see how the road does have some slush covering it here. And I'll flip to the back camera. Looks like my back camera is not on. That's all right. We'll fix it as far as it goes. I'm actually kind of impressed with the roads right now and how there's a quick layer of accumulation. That's how heavy these are. Just get a sudden burst of this snow band coming on and visibility is reduced. Of course, folks are slowing down, rightfully so. That's the right thing to do. As my mom always says, it's not you that I'm worried about, it's the other drivers. And that's basically what we're working at here in central Illinois. So we're going to zoom over real fast, slow down just a little bit, let some traffic pass. Yeah, there's some folks that say looks like I'm flying. I'm going 45 right now. One of the reasons it looks like that is because our GoPro cameras we have a fisheye lens, and that's to catch as much area as we can. And because of that, it looks like we're going faster than we actually are. Kind of a catch-22. You know, folks at home think, oh my gosh, dangerous driving. Well, really, it allows us to see a whole lot more of the roadway as far as things go. And so don't expect to go up much faster here as far as we're moving, but we're probably going to sneak over to St. Joe, then we'll turn around. We may go north a little bit. I'm looking here at the Cunningham Bridge, looking to the north, and I can barely make out the lights of the big car dealership that's there. You drive by on Interstate 74 in Cunningham, you know exactly where I'm talking about as far as it goes. So the roads right now are slush covered. There are some slick spots, particularly on the bridges. Just felt one there. They won't get to the point where they're ice covered. But there will be some slush on them. Those ground temperatures have been holding steady. Someone says my headlights are on. My headlights are on, don't worry. Other people's headlights do need to be on. If your wipers are on, the rule is wipers on, lights on. That's what we want people to remember. So there are people driving towards me without headlights as far as it goes. So I'm already noticing a quick reduction here about how much snow it is. It looks like it's clearing up on me just before the University Avenue. You probably just saw that with me here as we're moving to these. You get the idea of how these dense bands are. So this will be the day I think that is the most impactful as far as visibility is reduced, heavy snow rates, quick snow squalls, just like the one I drove through. The thought process is on Saturday, there'll be light snow flurries, consistent light flurries throughout the day. We'll add little by little on top of each other. And on Sunday, much the same. We may have the chance to get some of those snow squalls, snow bands Sunday afternoon. We'll watch closely. Obviously, the focus on today. But the thought is in general, it will be one of those lighter, slow, and steady type of snow events for us here in central Illinois. Already noticing how much the visibility has improved here just to the east of the University Avenue exit bridge. Roads are not nearly as bad. And it may look like up here, it may get a little more dense snow as far as it goes. So we'll watch. You'll see these just sudden bands. You're driving, and all of a sudden you hit a quick reduction in visibility because of a dense snow band. That's how these things work. They're almost like pop-up springtime rain showers in the area more than anything. And so that's what we watch. So a little bit of slush there in the middle lane as I merge back over. Alicia's saying no precip in St. Joe. Not all that surprised by that, honestly. That's 5 miles to the east of Urbana there. And that 5 mile difference is what we expect. You'll get a heavy snow band. You may get a quick half inch or an inch. Down the road may get next to nothing here. So it looks like there's just a dusting on the sides here. Of course, some IDOT clouds going on by. Here we go. Sudden whiteout conditions here all of a sudden east of Champaign-Urbana. So I'm jumping back into a snow band. You probably all saw that transition with me, that heavy snowflakes. The road now starting to get covered fairly quickly because of how quick these accumulation rates are.
Okay, Jacob, coming back here into the studio, and you can see that, you know, we've got these little bands here of snow, but notice again how on the radar, so Jacob there is driving on I-74, and so, you know, he's going to catch, you know, a heavier band here and there, and then he'll come out of one, and if he gets to St. Joe, then, you know, there's nothing there to Ogden, and then you may run into another one, you know, east of Danville there. So all of these are kind of moving off here to the north and to the east. I'm going to put a little bit of a loop on it, and you can see that basically they're lifting to the north and east. So while there's going to be a little break in Champaign here soon, there's another one right on the heels of it here that's currently down towards the Cerro Gordo and Bumente area and to the north and east. So, you know, get replaced by another one. We'll see if this continues to kind of fill in back towards Springfield and Jacksonville, but we definitely have the snow continuing, and you know, an inch or two is definitely not out of the question. Some of you will get more, some of you will get less. Depends upon you know, just kind of how things are going to play out here. But we will continue to monitor things for you and send it back over to Jake for more.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We just drove out of that snow band. A good 1 to 2 miles wide was all it was. Visibilities have improved quite a bit. And still some snow flurries, but I notice how there's no snow on the ground here as we're getting up to the St. Joseph exit in the next mile or so. We're coming up to where the railroad bridge is. The railroad tracks take you down to Sydney. And I'd love to turn the camera to the right if I could, because I can see to the south it's much looking. That's what these snow bands are going to be. So we're going to get up to St. Joe here shortly and take a peek west and look around at some of these snow bands. And so we'll watch as these snow squalls continue to push through. In fact, we may get into downtown St. Joe just to get a little look at it. But the ground here, if you notice, if you look at those roads, and looks like I'm still on radar is what Jerry is saying. So if you're in there, make sure that source is switched back to the TVU box, I think maybe. We still have studio view, and that'll change here shortly. There we go. All right, we're getting switched over. So now there's no snow falling here at the St. Joseph exit a mile out on I-74 heading to the east. Thanks for letting us know, folks. And we're going to get off in St. Joe. To my right, you can kind of see how dark it is on the right side of the screen. That snow band is rolling on in. It's going to come into St. Joe pretty quickly. So we may sneak on to the high school, Ogden St. Joseph High School, St. Joseph Ogden High School. Sorry, somebody will get mad about that. The right order. Believe me, from GCMS, Gibson City, Melvin Sibley, Gibson City goes first, and people will let you know that. But we'll get off here in St. Joseph and take a look to the south and go into that band. Sandra's saying it's snowing in Homer right now. These snow bands very much set up to where there is a narrow stretch of heavy snow that lasts for half an hour, if that. Next door may see little to nothing. So St. Joe hasn't really seen any like this quite yet. Ogden, we got snow in Homer. We got a few other places. Look how dark the sky is here as I'm getting off in the exit. Of course, I'll take a right. St. Joseph, the next town to the east of Urbana. That first exit there, the interstate between St. Joseph and Ogden is pretty notorious for winter weather-related incidents. Even US 150 had it too. As I'll take a right here into town, you'll notice how much darker it gets as I turn. That snow band, that heavy snow band Kevin's been pointing out, we've been watching, is to the south. There are other bands like this. Just because we're talking about this band is more of a convenience. We can't be everywhere all at once, but those sky cams, our Roofing Dog iNet cameras, have shown the story throughout the day too. Look how dark that is. It almost, if I were to pretend it was 60, 75 degrees, this would look like a nice spring thunderstorm. But instead, with just a little bit of instability in play, we get some vertical movement in the clouds, and we get some cumulus clouds in place, and we're getting some heavier snow showers here. So nothing in St. Joe. Folks are watching in St. Joe. I bet you that's going to change here pretty quick as this snow band rotates its way on in as we're driving south now, approaching downtown, just passing St. Joseph Ogden High School. Go Spartans. Coming up on 150 here. And I'm going to go straight and take a little nice tour of downtown St. Joseph here. It's been a little while since I've been back here in this part of the area. Nice little town, but you see the snowbank. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go left. Here's one. Then I'll drop to the south. You can see in front of me as I turn to the left here, the clouds are moving from south to north. I'm going to take one more little turn here. So now they're moving from in front of me towards. Now I'm driving south, the snowband coming north and east. Come pack a punch. That's what it is. Just cross the little walking trail. You go the biking trail. It goes from Urbana east to St. Joe and on. The old railroad tracks, the old Norfolk Southern tracks there. And we'll zoom back into downtown. If you've got any snow reports where you're at or where you're watching from, let us know. In addition, if you where you're watching from, we want to know where your town is, where folks are checking in from here on our Facebook Live as we're in the storm tracker taking a peek around at this heavy snow band. In fact, I can see in the distance here as I get to the edge of St. Joe, already seeing visibility reduced just to the south. Bonnie's saying really coming down in Gibson City. I believe it. That heavy snow band lifting on north. It's going to come with a whump and a wallop, a little thumping, I guess. Already, here you see the snow picking up now. Ooh, you know, we got a lot of sleet here. Can you hear that? There's actually some sleet coming down right now. I turn the windshield wipers off real fast. Sometimes we can get sleet with a T, when you get these vertical updrafts, you know, more of a convective nature to these showers, these snow showers. And what it is super cooled water will attach to these snowflakes and freeze. And it almost looks like either Dippin' Dots, some folks have suggested. It may look like you open a new package, you've got and you've got some of these, styrofoam packaging in there, those little styrofoam trash, whatever. Someone said they were snow peas. But yeah, the road already here. Picking up good cover in here as I'm by the St. Joseph Grade School. So we're going to drive back to downtown, and then we're going to hop on the interstate and check radar real quick when I get back downtown and make a decision on what we're going to do. I want to catch a snow band during the 5 o'clock news, and so there's going to be there's going to be another snow band coming in behind this from about Arcola, Tuscola, up towards Atwood, Beement, Monticello, and off towards the north side of Decatur. And I want to try and catch that if I can. Already, the sleet come down so heavy that even though the ground is warm enough to melt it, we're overcoming that with our accumulation rates here, and the roads are getting a little slush on there. That's what these snow bands will do. They'll have a heavy thumping real fast and push on through. So we'll get back into St. Joe. We'll jump back in the interstate, head back to the west. And I think we'll get close to wrapping this up here shortly, too, if they're watching the studio as far as it goes. So I just drove by this Casey's. The road was clear. And already slush and sleet covered out there. I'm not sure if y'all can hear the sleet either. Some people have said, oh, it's hailing outside. Not quite. You might get that illusion. We get why. But, man, it's already covered here. I drove through here maybe 5 minutes ago. Maybe 5 minutes in downtown. And this road's already got some slush on there. So let's see. In the studio, if anyone can let me know if they've heard of any traffic incidents or if anything on Google Traffic is showing up as a slowdown or a stop or maybe a wreck in the area, I'd like to know. Other than that, I'll stop up here and we'll wrap this up and get ready for the 5 o'clock show. During the 5 o'clock show, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy will have an update on the forecast to look at radar and show you where these snow bands are and talk about what we expect into the weekend as we continue to see this grapple and continuing to get these heavy snow bands moving on through. Looks like as of now, we don't have any reports of traffic accidents, but do know when these reduced visibilities happen, that's the concern. You come across it, and again, it's not necessarily you we're worried about, it's the other driver. They're not slowing down, and something happens in front of you. You start to get these incidents where there could be pile-ups and whatnot. These are the type of events and winter weather events where pile-up accidents happen. So that's been the concern for the day. Roads are a little slushy, some slick spots on bridges, but we're still warm enough to melt things. It's the visibility that will be a problem. So there's not much happening as far as that goes. I'm going to head back on the interstate here and take a little mile back to the west before we wrap things up. If you have any questions, I'm sure Amelia and Kevin are in the studio watching those comments. What I want to do is drive through this snow band, get out back into a clear space, and then we'll wrap it up because I can even see ahead of me. I can see the clearing already, making it out. Just giving you an idea how narrow these snow bands are here as far as it goes. So, wow, pretty impressed with how much gunk there is already on the interstates here as far as it goes. So we're going to wrap this up here. Again, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey and the S&K Roofing Exterior Storm Tracker. I probably butchered that, but thanks for watching in. As we continue throughout the afternoon and evening, we'll keep track of these snow bands. Just know that you may get a heavy batch of snow that lasts for a little time with some grapple or some sleet-like pellets mixed on in. The difference minute, but the impact similar. A quick burst of accumulation can be expected. That's what we got. Be sure and join us for the 5 o'clock news. We'll be live at 5 and at 6 from the field. Of course, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy and Amelia Henderson will have updates all evening long from the studio. I'll be back tomorrow morning starting at 8 a.m. to talk about the weekend snow showers and keep you updated as well. Be sure and download the WCIA 3 weather app to get the latest information. You can also look at our storm tracker Doppler radar on there. And with that, have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you.
Continue to monitor this. He's going to be out in the storm tracker. We're going to be in here in the studio and getting ready and watching for this next band to move through, because another one's going to move through. We'll keep you up to date, complete team coverage online and on the air here as we go throughout this evening. Stay safe, and we will keep you up to date as we continue to track more winter weather across Central Illinois.